So it's important to recognize that if an infection is the cause of chronic fatigue, there are two groups of pathogens that normally mediate such infections. The most common type would be viruses from the herpes family. So herpes type 4, which is Epstein-Barr virus, is the most common infection associated with chronic fatigue. Other herpes viruses, so herpes type 5, which is CMV, herpes type 6, and also herpes type 3, which is chickenpox or shingles, are also associated with chronic fatigue. As far as atypical bacteria that can cause chronic fatigue, mycoplasma and chlamydia pneumonia are the most common atypical bacteria associated with chronic fatigue. What's important to recognize about all of these is that they have certain nutritional requirements, and many of those overlap. The single most important one of those would be arginine. Arginine is an amino acid which is plentiful in certain foods, and this is required for the growth of all of these viruses and atypical bacteria that are commonly associated with chronic fatigue. Another amino acid, lysine, counteracts the effects of arginine and competes for absorption in your intestines as well as in your cells with arginine. So if you have a lot of lysine, it kind of cuts down on how much arginine you can absorb, and it can help to limit the amount of arginine that these pathogens see in your system. So it's important to recognize that there are certain foods that are high in the ratio of arginine to lysine, and as a result, they would promote the growth of these pathogens in your system. Most common foods are nuts, seeds, grapes, and oranges. So wine and orange juice are probably not the best things for people to consume if they have chronic fatigue related to an infection. And the same thing would go for nut meals and nut butters and things that are probably quite common in the vegan diet.